up, people? It's time for What the Fuck Tuesday, and I actually made it on a Tuesday this time. In case you weren't here and you like didn't have your instant notifications on, and you just lagging all the way around and missed the show. On Sunday. Look for this thumbnail. That was a very interesting discussion. But yeah, he said some stuff that I just did not like. And so, I had to share my thoughts and my feelings about it. So we did that on Sunday. So just look for that and you can listen to it. It's not that long. But today's show is our weekly relationship advice live stream where people send in their questions and Candace goes through the emails and she selects usually about 25 letters and then puts them into this lovely document here for me. And then I read the questions out loud and then I answer them. So I've never heard these questions before. This is the first time for both of us. I know no more about these people's lives or the situation than you do after we read the letter. So please don't ask me. If you submitted a question, be sure to look in the chat and look and see what they have to say when your question is being aired, because sometimes they have some different insight and different thoughts, and it might be helpful for you, especially if they live in the area where in the general vicinity that you live in as well. They might have some insight into resources that I don't, since I don't live there. Okay. So let me switch over here to see the chat. Yes. Hi, everybody. Let's get started because we have, according to this cover sheet, 26 advice questions today. 26 questions. Oops. What's going on here? Did I put something on the keyboard? Oops, I sure did. Because it's going crazy. Hold on a second. Let me erase this because if I decide I do want to type something, it's going to have like a zillion spaces there because I laid something on the keyboard. Okay. Here we go with question number 1. This is from a young lady in the 28 to 34 age group from Portland. Summary of issue: my friend is the worst mother in the world. So I have a friend and now a roommate who gave birth to a little girl a couple of years ago. My roommate is an alcoholic and boy crazy. She dates guys for a few weeks and then she gets drunk, then ends up getting broken up with. When she's drinking, she becomes the absolute worst person, saying a bunch of crap about how the other person did something or something happened. Whenever she goes on binging, she's awake the entire night and almost till 8 to 10 in the morning. This leaves her 2-year-old daughter, if I'm not there, basically unsupervised because her mother is passed out. When I am there, I'm babysitting her for hours on end while her mother sleeps. There have been a couple of instances that have been horrible. One of the times I babysat while she went to go caregiving at one of her ex-clients' houses, who is also a drunk. It was supposed to be a 3-hour trip and all, but she left at noon and didn't come back until 8. Another instance, she drove her kid to daycare drunk. Tonight was like one of the worst, and she's sober this time. So she had a date tonight with a guy, and I watched the kid. She says it'll only be a couple of hours, and 5 hours go by. She then tells me that she will be out for a while and will stop by the apartment to get something before heading out again. She tells me to turn the security camera on, and she will come home if the kid sets it off. I can't imagine what would have become of the 2-year-old if I weren't there. Deb, I'm seriously debating whether to call CPS or not. If I'm looking after the kid because she asked me, then that counts as babysitting for giving the mom a break. It might not count as neglect, so I don't know. Any advice? I would suggest if you have a way to contact her parents, that you let them know what's going on so they can make a move and get their granddaughter. If for any reason you either can't reach them or they decline, what you have to do is tell her, you have to give her notice. Say, I will watch her until blank o'clock. After blank o'clock, if you're not here, I'm going to call CPS because I'm not going to be, you're not going to dump your kid on me and just do what you want to do. We're not going to do that. And the thing that bothers me is, okay, you knew she broke the law. She was driving drunk with the infant in the car. You know that she passes out. And if you weren't there, like you said, so if she passed out drunk, she didn't ask you to watch the kid. She just passed out drunk and you watched the kid because you were a responsible adult. This would not work for me. This might have happened once. Everybody gets one time while I look and see how you conduct yourself. And then we would have had to have a conversation. And I told her, it would tell her, if you do this again, I'm calling CPS and they're going to take your kid away from you. And you're going to have to go to court and it's going to be a whole big old deal. and they would test her to make sure she hasn't been drinking, which might be good for her. It might be something that she needs. So you're looking at it as like a horrible thing, but this woman is out of control, and her being out of control is putting her child at risk. And she's bringing all these different men around the kid. I mean, luckily you there watching her, but just what if you weren't? They should be bringing all these different men around this little girl. This is bad. So that's my suggestion. First, reach out to any family that you know that she has, any contact information that you have, friends on social media. I mean, whatever way you can connect with them. Go through her phone when she's drunk. I mean, whatever you need to do. Reach out to those people and tell them what's going on. Tell them that they need to come and get that baby. Okay. Then, like I said, if you can't find anybody or none of them want to be responsible for the kid, then you escalate to CPS. But whatever you do, this child should be the main focus, and keeping her safe and protected should be the main focus. This is crazy. Nope, stuff ain't changed. People are just as dusty and confused as they ever were. Actually, I think after COVID, I hate to say this, I think people being shut in and not being able to socialize kind of exacerbated the mental illness issues that a lot of people have. And it seemed to be, like doubled. The cray-cray. The cray-cray just is off the chart now. Hey, Shay! Yeah, this is something else. One thing I cannot stand is people to mess over little kids. Well, yeah, my cousin did this and stuff, and her daughter had to, I had to leave the house. Her daughter, the oldest one, knew how to get out of the house, lock the front door and go through the garage. And so then I let her do it because she's little and fast. So we went out, me and the baby went out, and the older daughter pressed the button and then ran and jumped under the thing. So the house was locked up. And then I took them to my house in Oakland. And then I called their daddy. And then I said, you better come get your kids. Because if you don't come get them, I'm calling CPS, like I told your ex. We're not doing this. So he came. He had to come and get them. He was on a motorcycle trip all the way in Monterey. But he dropped what he was doing, went home, got his car, and came back to Oakland and got his kids. So there you go. Question number 2. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from Philadelphia. Summary of issue: my boyfriend was going on dates with another girl. Oh, really? He blocked her since I found out and swears they never did more than kiss. Why would he do this? How do we move past this? You move past this, my dear, by him being your ex. I'm trying to understand why you think was supposed to be your boyfriend. That means you're supposed to have some kind of Mickey Mouse commitment with him. Going on dates with another girl is anything that you should be concerned about, and thinking that you need to save and negotiate and compromise. The man don't want you. That's why he went out on dates with someone else. But let's see what you have to say. I'm 26 and so is my boyfriend. We have been dating for 5 years and live together and have a cat and have talked about getting married. I thought things were going well. Then I noticed he was staying up on his phone lately, and I caved and checked his text and call log last night. He's been texting and FaceTiming another girl who's in her early 20s for the past month. By the text I read, they've been on several dates and are very flirty. He met her on a dating app that isn't on his phone anymore. Last night, he was making plans with her for Sunday. Oh, he just knee-deep in it. I'm totally shocked and heartbroken and so angry. I confronted him when he woke up, and he owned up and apologized immediately. He also texted the girl the truth and then blocked her. He said they did not have eggplant, but admitted that they did kiss, quote, a few times. Most of their dates were during the day while I am at work. He says he has no feelings for this girl, though, and that he did it for the validation. He says he's been feeling unsure of himself since finishing his graduate program and not being in school anymore. Obviously, that's no excuse, but that was his answer when I asked why he needed more validation. He swears it will never happen again, and I want it to work out. I can't imagine life without him. How can we move past this? Like I said, this is it. See, what you girls don't understand, okay, you're not even married to this clown, and he's already dogging you and disrespecting you and lying to your face, just cheating, stuff. Okay, so I'm looking at this relationship. It might have been good before that, but you could have just been doing whatever and just not got caught, right? So we don't know, but I'll just to say this is the first time. And he did something to the point where he was This has been going on for a month. It wasn't like a one-time thing, like a sudden spur of the moment thing. He's been planning dates and was planning to go on another one when you busted him. So I'm looking at, like, what is it that you think is worth saving here? He don't want you. You should never position yourself as a woman to have a man have to tell you more than one time by words or deeds that he doesn't want to be with you. You young girls kill me with this. He's not your husband. There's nothing to work out. Okay. There's nothing to work out. You date somebody, you find out what kind of character they have, what kind of integrity they have, morals and values they have. You see if it aligns with yours. If it doesn't, you deuce out. If it does, then you keep going. Now you kept going for 5 years, and now you found out that he veered left, and now it's time for you to deuce out. The fact that you think that you're going to stay and fix this, you don't even understand. By the fact that you stay, you've given him license now to know that all he has to do is talk a little stuff and make some fake promises, and that you ain't going nowhere. You being stupid right about now. Question number 3. This is a male on the 22 to 27 age group from San Diego, California. Summary of issue. Is it weird to ask someone out via social media? Absolutely. But let's see what you have to say. I'm trying to ask out this girl at work, and I've been contemplating asking her out through her socials for a while, simply because I can't find the time to ask her out at work. We work on completely different departments, and when I see her, she's always surrounded by other people, and I obviously want to ask her out while she's alone. But today, when our new schedule was posted for next week, I noticed that she wasn't on that schedule, which means one of two things. Either she's simply taking some type of vacation or time off that week, or she's leaving the job completely. The worst case scenario for me is that she's leaving the job, meaning that I'm seriously considering her asking her out online. It'd be simple for me to add her on Instagram and message her there, but would it be appropriate? I've had some female friends in the past say that they prefer to be asked out in person, and I'm wondering how this crush of mine would react if I were to ask her out via Instagram. Does it sound all right? I really like this girl, and I don't know what else to do here. But how about you pick up the phone? Don't you have a phone on your desk? You pick up the phone and you call her desk. And you say, hey, so-and-so, I noticed you wasn't on the schedule. What's going on? Are you quitting? Are you leaving us? You flying the coop? You can make jokes about it. And then she'll be like, oh, yes, I got a better job. Or no, I'm just going to be on vacation, this and that. And then that's when you say, it's so hard to get to catch up to you. But so that's why I'm having to call you. I want to take you out on a date. Are you amenable to that? Now, you have to ask her like that because of two things. One is you don't know what's going on in her personal life, right? Because a lot of people just don't want to talk about their stuff at work. And then the second thing is she might be like me, and she don't care how cute you are. You work together, she's not going to go out with you. As long as one of you is still at that job, it ain't happening. So you have to ask her, are you amenable? Or is that okay? Is that something that you're interested in? So then she can either say yes or no. Okay. Yeah, we don't know. We know we're not done to date coders, but he's hell bent on it. So what are we going to do? My job is not to always say that, because everybody already knows that. But, when people are hell bent on doing what they know they shouldn't be doing anyway, especially doing it in a stupid way, like using social media like a 10-year-old, then I just tell you what to say, okay? Because he didn't ask me all that. He asked me how to ask her, is asking her out by social media, okay. My number one thing is always, you never get your honey where you make your money. But he says they're in completely different departments. So, I don't know. I don't know what he gonna do. But like I know, the only way that would work is like if you guys if both people work for like Google or something, Microsoft, and how they have those giant campuses with 5,000 people. Okay, if somebody works in building 12A and you in building 1C, and you on the 5th floor, and this is, completely different divisions, all this kind of stuff, then you could work, date somebody, quote, where you work. Because it's like they work at a different company because they're so far away and so removed from you. But other than that, like y'all on the same floor, same building and all that stuff there, same department, no. Question number 4, female, 28 to 34 from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Summary of issue. My boyfriend blames me for everything. He gets defensive and overanalyzes everything I think, feel, and say. I'm emotionally exhausted and anxious. Okay, and then I'm wondering why you still there. But let us proceed with reading what you wrote. My boyfriend of 3 years has recently been diagnosed with ADHD. He's constantly starting fights with me, nitpicking everything I do or say, and accusing me of thinking things I don't even think. And yet, you stay. I really just need to vent and hopefully hear some advice. I feel so alone. You should feel stupid. I met my partner on Tinder, and after a year-long situationship, we decided to give the relationship a go. Only a few months into the relationship, it started when I asked if he could put his dishes straight into the dishwasher. I was living alone at the time. He got so mad at me and accused me of telling him what to do and insinuating that he's unable to be an autonomous adult. Over time, this continued where I would say something or ask something, and his reaction felt very over the top. Are you able to move your car so I can get something out? Turned into fights over him feeling attacked and treated with disrespect. Okay, let's stop here. You're at your house, okay, and he comes to your house as a guest, and you ask him to not put the dishes in the sink, but to put them straight into the dishwasher. And he want to give you some lip about it. He would have become every kind of MF I could have thought of, and I'm very creative. And then he would have got tossed out of my life, out of my house, out of my life, out everywhere, just gone. Because one thing you not gonna do is argue with me about what I say goes in my house where I pay all the bills. You don't live here. You don't have no rights to say nothing. You do what I tell you to do or you get out. And that's just the way it is. But let's see what else stupid you did. I want to emphasize that I don't nag. If I need him to do something, I ask kindly once and then I just leave it alone. As our relationship has gone on, it's gotten to the point where if I even have a pimple, he will point it out. If I'm wearing a jumper, he will sigh and get mad at me because he knows I'm making the wrong decision because I won't need it. I don't know what you're trying to say there. If I have an opinion on anything, he will always be upset if it's not aligned with his and treat me as though I'm being defensive because I respond to his questions with honest answers. He will constantly accuse me of being grumpy, defensive, selfish, but I have such a hard time always hearing that because I'm the only one who initiates doing things together. I always listen to his opinions and feelings and validate them. I always speak respectfully and never yell or call him names. We went to a therapist who also agrees that he was projecting onto me and that he has low self-esteem. It was nice to feel validated, and he was open to this at the time, but refuses to accept it after the fact. If he gets a speeding fine, it's someone else's fault. If something bad happens at work, it's someone else's fault. If someone believes something or likes something he doesn't, then they are wrong. And I know that is a him problem, but it's so hard constantly being told how horrible I am and wrong I am for literally just existing. He recently got diagnosed with ADHD and is on medication. He knows ADHD can affect relationships, but he still thinks I'm the problem. I'm not necessarily looking for advice because I know I should probably just leave, but I'm more just looking for comfort and knowing I'm not the only one who's experienced this. And if you can share any tips or experiences others may have had successfully navigating a similar situation. No, I'm not going to do that because there's no successful anything here. The successful navigation is you pack your shit and you get out. This man, okay, you've been with him 3 years and all it started like a month or 3 after you got with him, and yet you continue to stay and be abused like this. So then I have to just look at you because once again, this is a mere boyfriend. This ain't no husband. Leave it. I mean, if it was a husband, you'd be getting a divorce. But it's a boyfriend. You can pack your stuff up and leave anytime. I don't understand why you would stay with somebody who talks to you like this and treats you like this. This boy has some problems. I dated somebody like this for a hot minute. And, when we were in college and he, want to party it up and hang out with his friends and stuff. And so he got like a D on a final. And, he came to the house and he was talking about how it was, the professor's fault and professors don't like him and all this sort of stuff here. And I remember I just looked at him and said, so it can't possibly be your fault because you refused to study and was out drinking and having a good time with your friends while everybody else was studying. You decided to do that. And now it's the professor's fault. And then he just looked at me, and then that was the day I broke up with him because I'm like, this is an idiot. I cannot. But, different situations, you get to see different sides of people. This man has shown you who he is. He's not going to change. You trying to go to therapy and all this kind of stuff. It's not going to work. As you see, it's not working. So what is it that you think that writing to me is going to do? What is it that you think telling you about other women who are just as stupid as you is going to do? I mean, just to validate your stupidity? Is that what you were looking for? Because any woman who would put herself in a situation like this purposely and stay there after being talked to like she has a tail and paws something's wrong with you. You talk about he has low self-esteem. Yours is lower than his. This is just sad. Question number 5, male 22 to 27 from Boston. Summary of issues. Should I always ask her first when she's free for a date before I make plans? Of course. Okay, dude. Man, do we need to have a class on how to date? What's wrong with these kids? Okay, so we went out 5 times. The dates were great. The thing is, she's very busy. So usually when I would ask her for a specific day and place, almost always she's busy that day, even on the weekends. So then I'd ask her what day would she be free, and that's when she would tell me. It's kind of embarrassing to always get told she's not free, whichever day I choose first. So instead, should I just always downright ask her first when she would be free to meet and then make plans? Well, duh. You see that the method that you was using is not working. So the best thing that you want to go out with the girl, you say, okay, please check your calendar, your busy bee self, and tell me when you have a couple of hours free so I can take you out. Get back to me. Click. And put that deep bass in your voice. Sounds sexy. And then she'll be like, oh, let me call him. Dude, come on now. For real. You're not doing this right. You always ask a woman when she's free. Like, even if you just say, I was thinking about getting together on Saturday. Are you available? She'll say yes or no. So, you at least put a little parameter around it, but you don't make plans for the whole thing because, and then she tells you no, then you done made reservations and done, just went and did all the stuff that you didn't have to go back and cancel. That's not how you do it. You ask the person that you want to take out when they're available or if they're free on XYZ day. Like, say you want to get tickets for a specific event or something like that. Well, the event's only going to be running that night or maybe 2 nights in a row. So then you tell her that was, the show I want to see is running Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Are you free any of those days? If so, then I'll pick up tickets. See how simple that is? Why are you making this so hard? Dude, you're just doing the most. Question number 6, male 22 to 27. Wait, I need a swig. You know what's in here? This is a mixture of what they call this, a wine spritzer. It's a mixture of Chardonnay and some bubbly water. Okay, question number 6. This guy's from Stockton. He's 22 to 27, and he says, I'm very confused about something that just happened to me online. So I'm on eHarmony, and a girl sends me a smiley face as a direct message. This had never happened to me before. So I immediately responded back verbatim, quote, hi, how are you? End quote. I also check her profile, and she seems like a nice girl who would get along with me. So she doesn't respond to me, and after 20 minutes, I checked my phone and saw that she had deleted her entire profile. All right, so I'm very confused. I'm naturally hard on myself, so I'm wondering if I responded too fast, but that seems absurd considering that she did message me first. Any theories on why this happened? I need some support because I feel bad. Why would you feel bad? Okay, slap yourself. Why would you feel bad because some rando on a website that you don't even know who was on the end of it? It could have been a dude with a woman's picture up or something. And that's why he deleted, because he just wanted to get some attention. They have these dudes that be putting on wigs and dresses and stuff and try to pretend like they're girls. So it could have been that. You could have been escaped, what you call it, dodged the bullet. You don't know who this was sent you this message on the internet just because they had a picture up in a profile. You don't know who that was. If it was man, woman, pit bull, you don't know nothing. Okay? And here you are feeling bad about it. You're stupid. No wonder men be having such low self-esteem and just going through all kind of trips. Because y'all be just gobbing onto anything. You just want to feel bad about yourself. That is something that should have been on and off your radar like that. With the snap of a finger, you should have forgot all about that even happened. You don't invest emotions in strangers, especially stuff on the internet. Okay? My God. And look in there and see what they have to say, because, they do that online dating. I haven't even seen a swipey thing, so that's what I call them, all them things where you swipe left, swipe. I call them swipey things, but I haven't even seen one, so I can't tell you nothing about it. But I do know this. Anything that you see online, is not real. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. You heard of that show they used to have out called Catfish? Yeah. So you don't know who that was, and you up here tripping and beating yourself up about it. You tripping, dude. Question number 7, female, 28 to 34 rather, from Manchester in the UK. Summary of issue: my boyfriend left me at the pub and then blamed me for it. Oh, here we go, another blame shifting man. We've been together. Wait a minute. How long is this letter? Okay. We've been together for about 2 years. He's 45 and I'm 28. Okay, he's too old. Let's start there. This is now the second time he's left me in a public place after making a scene, and I'm unsure how to handle the relationship moving forward or if I even should. What happened was we went to lunch and then he took me for drinks at our favorite spot. We met there and we are friendly with the workers, etc. My brother called me and I ended up inviting him, which my boyfriend was fine with. He was incredibly nasty to my brother, though. My brother asked him to hand him something, and he basically tossed it at my brother and was clearly annoyed. I decided to intervene as they were both playing on machines, and I was sitting at the bar. I asked what the issue is, and my boyfriend got extremely angry and annoyed and got up and started walking out. I tried getting him to stay, and he shoved me out of the way. I followed him outside, and he said I was, quote, making him lose, and that, quote, he doesn't play little kid games, end quote, and that he, quote, doesn't get excited about winning a few dollars, end quote. I guess it annoyed him that I cheered when my brother won a few bucks, but I was just having a good time. He also left me with the tab where he could order dinner and shots. He drove us there, and I already had a few drinks. The owner brought me a drink and gave me a hug because I was crying. It was so embarrassing, and it truly was nothing I did wrong. I was completely shocked and thrown off. Later in the text that you're so worried about how your brother feels, how about how I feel? And I did not respond. I guess I'm looking for advice on if this is a good reason to leave a relationship. I love this guy a lot, but this is the second or third time he's had an outburst like this, and I'm not feeling like I have to walk on eggshells. I'm confused and sad. Thanks if you made it this far. Well, of course I made it this far. Let me tell you something. Don't be stupid. I mean, how many times do you have to get dogged out like that before you understand that this man has no respect for you? These y'all, is it me? Is it me? I'm looking at the stuff, the abusive behavior that these girls accept from these men. He would have got cussed the fuck out in the pub, called all kind of names, and probably would do some objects flying at him. And then I would, if anything he gave me, like a key to his apartment, anything, I would be flying it at him and telling him this is over. And it would have been a public breakup. One thing we not gonna do is this kind of stuff here, where you're gonna throw a fit and act a fool at 45. You're too old to be acting like a toddler. I would have had to tell him that too. 45-year-old toddler acting like you can wear Pampers and stuff, embarrassing people, really embarrassing yourself. And I would like to see somebody try to throw something at one of my brothers. Man, they would get up and grab him and judo flip him onto the floor. A karate punch him in his throat. They like martial arts. It would be a bad thing to do. So I don't know why you think that you have to ask if you should leave this relationship. You should have left it the first time he did that. But the fact that you took it, that he did the second time. And now evidently the third time. And he's going to keep doing it because you keep sticking around to take it. Yeah, he would have got one time. I know my temper. That would not work for me. Young question number 8. This is a young male in the 18 to 21 age group from Phoenix, Arizona. Summary of issue. Am I really as bad a boyfriend as I think I am? I'm 19 and my girlfriend is 18, and we've been planning on a trip to Mexico in March with her family. I met her family on numerous occasions and get along with all of them well, sometimes even better than she does. Her parents always do a yearly trip with her and her siblings and their partners. This is the first year we have been dating hence I was invited. Now I am fully prepared to go on this trip, and we were both excited. I work in a small medical clinic with 3 other guys, one of which is just starting. We are a fairly busy clinic, especially considering our size. We're seeing 24 to 30 patients a day. I went to give my notice for the trip. It is currently January 27th, and the trip would be in the last week of March, making it almost 2 months out since her parents told us the dates earlier today. I thought this would be plenty of time for my manager to make it work, but he informed me that one of our other employees had requested that week off already, and he could not give me that week off because it would be too much for him to be handling with the new employee alone. Now my girlfriend is upset with me and ignoring my texts, and I even apologize because I know how excited she was for this trip and how much she wanted to spend it with me. I feel like the bad guy in a scenario I had no part in, and I'm struggling to figure out if I am at fault. Help me, please. What you were supposed to do before you told your girlfriend anything was go talk to the other person who asked about that week off and see if you guys could switch. He could go, the week after, the week before, so or whatever, so that he would be there in the week that you need to be off going out of the country. That's what you should have done, but you didn't. You just ran and told her. You don't know why the person wanted the whole week off. Maybe they only needed one day, or maybe they wanted some time off, but it doesn't have to be that week. But you don't know because you didn't ask. That's how you handle stuff like that when you have a small team. You guys work together. You compromise and negotiate. Because it very well could have been that the person just picked that day just because. But you don't know that. So, yeah, you ain't going to Mexico, though, because you dumb. You's a dummy. You must have not really wanted to go because otherwise you would have thought of that yourself. But no, you're not a bad boyfriend, but you're just a dummy. Question number 9. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Washington, D.C. Summary of issue. It feels like, quote, hard work doesn't pay off when it comes to dating. Okay, y'all get your violins ready. We're about to hear a sad song, I can tell. Most couples I know just met each other during their life. Okay. I know a bunch of people who try to approach many girls using dating apps and upgrading their profile with some professional photos, and yet they have no results. At the end of the day, the thing that most people choose, whether they decide to date with someone or not, are the least important things in relationship. So why work hard and get no results when you can invest in other things and increase your chances? Okay, like what other things? You talking about like cars, clothes, and muscles? You can never go wrong with those things. But would you be able to keep the woman's interest if you only have cars, clothes, muscles? No. She'll get sick of you because there's other things that women stay in relationships for and be happy about, like good communication, fun time in bed. You make them laugh. Their friends and family like you. You have a good personality. You're not always grumpy. They enjoy the time they spend with you. Stuff like that. So, you're young though, and so y'all are still in that shallow what the person looks like and what the person drives stage. You'll get older and you'll learn that that's people don't pay that much attention to that after a while. They look more at your character and what kind of, what you bring into their life. So, but now is the time in 22 to 27 age group where you're going to be positioning yourself so that when you hit 30, you be about something. Because 30-year-old women is not trying to be looking at you because you got a car and a ride of muscles. They're looking for a husband and a father. So their standards and their measuring stick is going to change. So if you work on the things you say is too hard and you position yourself now to do those hard things, by the time you hit 30, then you'll be set. Everybody ain't meant to be with somebody very young. Some people, blossom, bloom, whatever the word is, later in life. So just think that's probably you. Question number 10, female in the 22 to 27 age group from Austin, Texas. Summary of issue. My boyfriend's ex views my TikToks. Why did you write about this like this is a problem? Why don't you just make your page private and then she can't view your TikToks? But let's see what you have to say. This isn't really a long letter. Thank you, Jesus. I've been with my boyfriend for a little over a year now, and it just gets better with time. He is 23 and I am 22. He just has one exodus, a girl from high school that he dated well into college. But she broke up with him and we met a few months after and then started to date. There was just one coincidence because my boyfriend and his ex went to the different colleges. But two girls from my high school were his ex's friends, old college roommates. Okay, you lost me. But we had no idea at the time we met until we later connected with the dots. So girl A and girl B were her college roommates, but the time we left for college, I didn't know those girls at all. and we didn't talk. She's viewed my TikTok several times now, and I'm not sure how she found me. We don't have any mutuals. She viewed me twice and liked the TikTok my boyfriend was in. I blocked her, took a break from TikTok, and when I reopened my account again, another strange account looked at my profile. I looked through the following list, and yep, it's her. Her following list is people that she's friends with. Thank you for explaining. I guess what I'm asking here is, should I take it that seriously? I already asked my boyfriend about it, and he says she's just messing with me. It's been a while since they broke up, and honestly, I don't know why she's on my stuff. I wasn't in that situation at all. It makes me feel a little creeped out and like I'm being scrutinized or something for who I am dating. I think it's weird, and although I know it shouldn't bother me, I want some input into what this might mean. It means that it's two stupid girls involved that don't have shit else to do. That's what that means. That means that you don't have anything positive going on in your life so that you have time to worry about some random broad. Let me watch my language a little bit. Some rando looking at your TikToks. Who cares if she looks at your TikToks? Is it hurting you that she looks at your TikToks? Are you losing money because she's looking at your TikToks? Is your pets being killed because she's looking at your TikTok? Is your hair falling out because she looked at your TikTok? Did you get fired at your job because she looked at your TikToks? I mean, how is this hurting you that she looks at your TikToks? Why do you care that she looked at your TikTok? You know why you care? Because you don't have shit else going on in your life. You don't have nothing to do that has something that's sensible. So you waste time writing advice columns about some random bullshit. That's what you did. Two silly girls. Grow up. Okay. If you get bothered about people looking at your TikToks, then get off of TikTok. That's my answer. Looking at your TikTok. Exactly. Oh my God. You see, this is those of you, this is why I have to drink. This is why I have to drink. I have to drink because otherwise I would lose my mind. These people, something wrong with them. Okay, question number 11. This is a male in the 35 to 41 age group. He's from Seattle. Summary of issue: I'm 38 years old already. What on earth am I supposed to do now? So I just blocked, my supposed to be girlfriend. We've been talking for a while now, and it's obvious that she doesn't show further interest in me. I'm so done with it. It's fine, though. I'm used to it, but it still sort of hurts. Anyway, moving on, right? But what on earth am I supposed to do now? I've been out of the business for so long, I'm feeling really depressed about it. I'm not on any dating sites or apps. I've been thinking about it for a long time, but I always rejected the idea. I figured, right, I'm this age without children, with a steady job. There's bound to be someone somewhere, right? Someone around my age ready to try and date, maybe build up something. But it's always this big disappointment. I have no family and no friends. I only have colleagues, but you don't really talk to them about these kind of things. Like what I'm thinking all the time is, what the hell am I supposed to do now? I feel like I'm marking time, just passing through time, passing through life, waiting for what? What is the purpose of all of this? Just sit here feeling hurt? Do you or the ladies have some insights for me? I could be mean and say something really rude, but I'm going to refrain. Y'all know what I want to say. It's 2 words, KY. But I'm not going to say that. I'm going to just answer your question. Sir, I don't know what your money situation is like, but what sounds like what you need to do is go to a matchmaker. I would not suggest going online to using these apps. Go to a matchmaker, someone who has a ready pool of pre-screened single women who are looking for what you're looking for. It's going to cost you some money. But you know what? It saves time, though, because they do the screening for you. You go on the little dates that they set up, and you talk to the woman, and you see if you all have, anything, clicks, if there's any fireworks, sparks, interest that makes you want to see her again. If not, you just move on to the next one. But you're paying for that service, so everybody who you're going to date with is pre-screened, and they really want to meet you. See, that's the advantage to a matchmaker. It's not just randos passing through life or just just wasting somebody's time. So I would suggest that. Where were you again? Hold on a second. I forgot where you said you were. Oh, Seattle, Washington. Yeah, they should have some good matchmakers up in that area, right? That's my advice for you. And I'm with this stuff. What's it all mean? What's going on in my life? Oh my God. I'm just wasting my time. Oh my God. Oh man, dude, if you projecting that kind of energy, no woman is gonna want to talk to you. You better correct that shit like pronto. Okay, go find you a matchmaker, write that check or put that plastic down and make that magic happen. And I think, a couple of months you'll be all right. Question number 12. This is a female in the 50 to 56 age group, no location provided. The male in question is 35 to 41 age group. Summary of issue. Tricked into giving my cell phone number. Hi, Deb. I would like your opinion on something unusual that happened to me while at work this past week. A guy approached me and complimented me on helping him previously while I was working with another customer. He later offered me a part-time to full-time job and asked for my card to discuss it over the phone later. I had questions I couldn't get into while at work, so I gave him a business card with my cell number. An hour later, he sent a casual message asking what I was doing. I was still at work during business hours, so I found this odd. He sent 3 more messages, but nothing about his company or the job details, etc. Since no info was given, I attempted to trace his company phone number with work software, but I found no traceable information. This is highly unusual as our work databases cover a lot of people. Uh-oh. And his business was supposedly related. I then began to feel uneasy. A cell phone could give access to my home address. I wondered why a legit company would give an untraceable Google number and why he would not include detailed job offer in his messages instead of casual conversation. 2 male coworkers think it was a lie to get my number to ask me out. A close female friend was concerned about potential stalking. I'm not sure, and I don't want to respond to the message because the number he gave me is untraceable. To cover my bases, I reported this to the police, to my cell carrier, and also to a financial fraud division. Since you have a keen sense of intuition, and I've not heard this type of question on your program before, I wondered if you could offer advice aside from getting myself a Google number. I am also writing so that no other woman will fall for scams or lies like this. Thanks in advance. You know what gets people? Greed. That was the trap that he set for you. You already have a job, and he's coming into your job, and he's trying to entice you with something that he's filling your head with some smoke and mirrors. See, that you don't fall for those kind of traps. Even if it was a real thing, it's inappropriate, unprofessional, and wrong to go on an employer's go up to their employee and try to steal them out from under them right while they're working and on the clock. So that alone should have told you that it was some monkey shine shit, and he's very unprofessional. You don't want to work with somebody like that. You don't want to, because what's supposed to happen is he's supposed to give you his card and not when you're on the floor on the clock, like at a break or something. I mean, I don't know, I don't know what your work is and how it works or whatever, but this whole way he handled this was inappropriate. The second thing is, he's a complete stranger. Why would you give him knowing that you listen to this channel? And I always tell women who are single to put up a barrier of it don't have to be Google, it could be WhatsApp or whatever, some kind of phone number that puts a barrier between you and the strangers and gives you that kind of sense of safety, little cocoon. Why did you not follow those instructions if you watch this show? He was a complete stranger and you gave him your number. Why did you do that? I've told y'all 50 million times not to do that, and yet you did it. The third thing is this, you got to think when you have dudes coming up to you like that, why is he there? He gave you an excuse, but like I said, most of the time, like when people get scammed and, it's because of greed. They feel like they're going to get something more than what they have. That's the hook that they use. If you satisfied with your life as it is, they can't use greed to get you. But like I said, this is the kind of thing like anybody on your job who comes at you on your job while you're working on the clock and starts trying to talk to you about, going someplace else, you shut that down because, that could be a spy from your boss, from corporate. to see how you respond. You don't know who this person is, and you just responding all positively and stuff. Girl, yeah, you reported police and all this other stuff over here, but really the time for you, what you should do now is change your phone number. And then you're going to get you a Google number, and that's the number that you're going to put on any business cards, social media sites, everything. Your checks. What if you still have them? I mean, I still have checks, but a lot of people don't even have checks anymore. And that kind of stuff. You do not give your real cell phone number out to anyone, family, close friends. That's it. My jobs don't even have they have my Google number. You know why? Because they give it to people. And then people be calling you, asking you stupid questions. I don't want nobody ringing my cell phone. No. I've had the same number since 1994. I got it with Sprint, and I went through Sprint and Nextel, Verizon. Who else did I have? Somebody. I forgot. Oh, yeah, back to Sprint, and then Google. They had the better rates. It's cheap. So, I don't, it's just, it hurts my heart because you say you watched the show, but yes, you made this really grade level mistake here. Okay. So you start thinking about that. The fact that he did that would have rang my alarm bells right there. It's like, I'm at work. Why are you trying to recruit me for someone else's job? And I would have been looking around for the spy cameras and seeing who's listening to think. My mind, I'm always suspicious. So I would have been thinking that, it was some kind of setup to see what I was going to do. And that would be reported to my boss or, some head honcho or something. That's immediately where my mind would go. And so I would shut that shit down. Yeah, change your number. Start there. You can do that right now. It's real easy. Get your Google number, and any business ventures you have in the future, you're gonna use that Google number. You're not gonna give out your real number anymore, girl. So that's my advice. And when you said how to help prevent other women from making that mistake, that's what I say. Question number 13. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Elgin, Illinois. And she's writing about another female in the same age group, 38 to 34. Summary of issue. My friend took back her cheating ex. I am angry. How do I handle this without destroying our friendship? Let's see what you have to say before I respond. My friend dated a really bad guy for several years. He was married, lied to her about it, and both she and his wife were deeply hurt when it all came out. Ignoring brutally honest advice, she has since taken him back. He supposedly filed paperwork to divorce his wife. I know I'm not going to change her mind about how bad this decision is. She will have to learn her lesson the hard way, and I don't want to hear about this relationship anymore. She trashes his ex wife and portrays him as a loving partner. I think this man is a sociopath. I'm upset that she is choosing to bury her head in the sand and have nothing nice to say about any of it. My approach has been to largely ignore her updates on the situation and change the subject. Our other friend has been more openly critical and thinks we need to reinforce that taking him back is a stupid decision. What is the best approach for handling this situation without blowing up our friendship? I still care deeply about my friend, but this shit is getting old. You better care about yourself. See, I don't have time to be dealing with stupid broads like this. I mean, I know that's your friend and you care and all stuff, but my patience, I don't have that kind of patience. You wearing me out, talking to me about the problems. Okay, I'm going to listen for the first time or two, maybe even 4 or 5 if I'm bored and don't have nothing else to do. But after that, I don't want to hear this anymore. Once you found out that he was married and you still kept messing with him, well, that makes you a fool. And I don't have no conversation for you. And my patience is gone and my ears are closed. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be bothered. Now, for most women, that would mean that we're not going to be friends anymore. And I'm okay with that because I have to be friends with women who have good sense. I have to be friends with people that I respect. I have to be friends with women who's on their grind and about their serious life and becoming movers and shakers and doing something. I have to be friends with women that I can admire. I cannot be friends with somebody who's stupid like this. That just would never work. So you can call her your friend if you want to. If with me, I would be deuced out on this friendship and tell her, you know what? I can't do this with you anymore. I can see that you're going to just put your life on hold and just put yourself in a situation. I'm not going to go there with you. And so you go do what you're going to do. You're a grown woman. But I don't want to hear it and I don't want to see it. And so that means I'm not going to be talking to or seeing you. And you have every right to do that. Put up those boundaries. I can't. I just can't. I mean, all the women that I associate with at this point in my life, I've just, like cut so many people out. The women now that I associate with are smart, they're progressive, they read, they do, have good conversations, they're hardworking, they have goals in their life. They are people that I can admire and respect. And when we talk, we're listening to each other and, big upping each other and stuff like that. Their spiritual energy is high and is positive. I could not do anything in my life with somebody like this. So you have to think about it, because like I always tell y'all, your time is the one thing, the one resource that you can never replenish. You can never get that back. So the time that you waste on silly hoes like this is going to be time that you wasting. You're never going to get it back, and you're not going to have nothing to show for it. So you have to give this some serious thought. I know it's your friend and it's going to be hard for you to do, but I'm telling you, the best thing for you to do is to cut her loose. Let her go on over there with that dude and do what she want to do. I would block her too. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't email me. I don't want nothing to do with you and your silliness. Question number 14. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Bartlett, Tennessee. Oh, I wonder where that is. Summary of issue. My best friend is jealous of my fiance's and I's relationship. My best friend of 7+ years, who I met through work years ago, has recently said some things that make me question our friendship. As of October, my best friend's boyfriend of 11 years broke up with her. She had to move back to our hometown with her parents, and by then, I had moved out of our hometown with my fiance. Prior to her moving back to our hometown, our friendship has been via phone for several years due to the 7-hour distance. So I drove an hour and a half twice after her breakup to hang out with her. There were times when she was crying, saying that she's so happy I found someone that makes me happy. Then she turned around and she would say, well, are you sure you're ready to get married? It's a lifelong commitment. And then she mentioned how she needs to meet my fiance before he gives me kids. The second visit, she said, are you sure you want to get married? We can go get you a tall basketball player, because my fiance is an inch shorter than me. I was thinking, what the heck? It's weird on the phone, but she doesn't say things like this. She keeps asking me to see pictures of us and saying he's shorter than you, right? So today she texted me that she misses me and wished I was having a good day. I texted her back how we went to Universal Studios and I sent pictures of the new Nintendo World and a picture of me. And she responded, well, where are the pictures of you guys? Okay, blah, 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 blah. My dad said to watch out because she seems kind of crazy and to put my future husband first unless I want a divorce. Plus, she may do something shady. He said that he would stop hanging out with her. My fiance just said she's a hater, asking if I'm sure I want to get married. She said some other crazy stuff while hanging out, like how I should add her to my life insurance due to how toxic my family can be, etc. But that's another topic. Are these red flags? Girl, she started asking about your life insurance. She might be trying to off you so she can collect. You better, your daddy is right. You better listen. He says you better stop hanging out with her. You better listen to your daddy because he's telling you right. Your boyfriend is just brushing it off. But see, when people, she's like a rattlesnake and she's shaking her tail right now. She's rattling and let you know what time it is. Don't ignore it. The bitch is crazy. Okay. She sounds like that single white female type of chick. You better exit this situation and tell her that you don't like the comments that she's been making about your fiance and that you're going to put some distance between the two of you and concentrate on your upcoming marriage. That's what I would tell her. Yeah, that's messed up. She a trip. Question number 15. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group from Macon, Georgia. Summary of issue. Does there really have to be some kind of a grace period after a breakup? No. My girlfriend and I of 5 years just recently split up. 2 weeks after the fact, I met a girl randomly out and about, and we had a pretty immediate connection. We hooked up. My ex found out about it. Now I'm getting hounded by people who found out and telling me that I'm an a-hole for doing that. Because we broke up, though. Do I really owe someone a waiting period before I can try to restart my life without them? It's not like I broke up with my ex for this person. I didn't know her until after we broke up. This hookup was discovered by my ex purely by a freak coincidence. I had no intention of her finding out because I knew it would be tough on her. I've since made it clear to the partner that I hooked up with that I did just get out of a 5-year relationship and that she should know that before moving forward. I still respect my ex. She probably doesn't respect me anymore though. But so is life, I guess. I'm confident that she'll find someone she loves and realize everything works out somehow. Okay, so you've been getting calls from people telling you that you're an a-hole after she broke up with you? You were supposed to tell them, look, what you want me to do? Sit around here with no cooch, waiting for her to come back, or just to make it look good for her? Fuck her. She didn't want to be with me anymore, so I'm gonna go be with somebody who does. That's what you were supposed to say to them people. You're supposed to blow their hair back and not be the least bit affected by what they're talking about. See, when somebody breaks up with you, they have no rights to say anything about what you do, when you do it, who you do it with, how many times you do it. They don't have any rights because they forfeited all of that once they said, I want to break up with you. Okay, so you could just like soon she could still be standing there and you be on the phone like, hey, I'm single now. What you doing? What you doing tonight? Oh, you want to go out and get a drink? Yeah, while the girl's still standing there. And you know what? That's okay. Most people won't do that because they're going to still have, some emotional response. But sociopaths like me don't really give a fuck. So it's like, I'm going to be moved on to the next person before you even leave my place or get up from the chair, whatever. I'm moving on, sir. Ain't no dust collecting over here. So that's my thing though. Because if somebody doesn't want you, then they don't want you. If they don't want you, then they shouldn't be worried about what you do. And you were supposed to tell her and all her friends that was the flying monkeys. You're supposed to tell them that. You was way too nice. And you don't need her respect. And you don't need to respect her either. So that 5 years was too long anyway. Question number 16, female 28 to 34 from Hackensack, New Jersey. Wow. Summary of issue. My boyfriend makes friends with random strangers on our dates. I've been seeing my 38-year-old boyfriend for 6 months. He's very friendly and outgoing, so it's easy for me to introduce him to my circle of friends. He only has 1 or 2 close friends that live nearby. He really likes when we go out on dates interacting with strangers, like talking to the musicians we just saw perform afterwards, inviting new friends to our table. For me, I have a job where I talk to strangers all day for a living. So while I'm good at it, I don't want to be doing it on my time off because it's taxing and it feels like work. He will talk about being invited to strangers' houses and having a lovely dinner with them, and he seems to really like it. I don't want to take that away from him since he doesn't have a lot of close friends, but I don't want to be a part of it either. I'm not sure what to say to him. Oh, that's the end of it. You say, I don't want to go there, and say, why would you go to some complete stranger's house and eat their food? They might be into that organ harvesting stuff. And they looking at you like, oh, look, he's a healthy young 38-year-old man. I think we can use his livers, kidneys, and heart. And his what you call them? The eyeballs and stuff. What they call it? I forgot how they transplant your eyes. But they're looking at how they're not looking for that. And you may never see your boyfriend again. I would scare him and say stuff like that to him. Because he's being a little dumb. In this day and age, you know what I mean? I wouldn't trust that. I think that happens to a lot of people, like these people be, turning up missing. Teenagers and stuff, young men. Turning up missing. I think it has something to do with that. But that's just my thought, but I tend to be ahead of the curve on a lot of stuff. But I've always thought that it's just too suspicious. Young, healthy people just disappearing. I mean, and they're too old for, they're like in their 20s, But I'm thinking your dude is 38, but still, he better be careful with that. Talking to people is one thing, but going to their house and eating their food and letting them put drinks in front of you that the bartender didn't bring and all this kind of stuff, no, we're not doing that. I'm far too suspicious. You know what I'm talking about? Corny is okay. Thank you. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. This is the reality of the world that we currently live in. Got to be thinking about stuff like that. We never heard about that stuff when I was growing up as a kid. We never heard about that. That was just like so unheard of. But yeah, I would just tell him that. I would scare him a little bit first. And then when he starts getting ready to go do some random stuff like that, I would get up and go home. I don't know if he could be my boyfriend. Question number 17. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Los Angeles, California. Summary of issue. I gave my boyfriend an ultimatum about us moving in together. Do you think I could have handled this better? Let's see what you have to say. We have been together for a year and a half. I'm 24 and he is 28. We're very in love with each other and we're compatible in every aspect except for one thing. He's gone back and forth several times on whether we should move in together. Why do you want to move in together? After a big fight regarding this inconsistency, he put a hard stop to the idea, and it's become a very sore subject. His reasoning for changing his mind is because we argue at least once a week, and it hasn't let up. Our arguments aren't about huge, serious things besides this. He wants them to be less frequent before taking the next step, which is understandable. We are trying our best to iron it out with little improvement. I'm also making a habit of going to therapy to heal past traumas and react with more logic and understanding than full force emotions, as it was all I knew growing up. On the flip side, I am struggling on my own. He's a homeowner, and I am bouncing between places. And I know that's not his problem, and having a roof over my head is not a reason to rush moving in with a partner. But his offer to help in the past and then retracting it multiple times has built a small amount of resentment that I'm still trying to work through. The back and forth and also the personal feeling of being unwanted gets to me a bit, even though I know he's doing this for our own good. I've essentially told him that we need to sort through our weekly arguments and sort out moving in together within a year. I'm still young and I don't want to spend multiple years in something that goes nowhere and we just waste each other's time. He said he understands. I'm now not sure whether this was the healthiest way of handling this situation. Any advice? Thanks in advance. Yeah, you should break up. Let me tell you why. Okay. First he said move in, then he said no. Then he said move in, then he said no. And now he said no with finality. That means whatever stage, whatever moving in together means to you, to me don't mean shit, but to you young girls, it seems to mean something important. So whatever that means to you, he's telling you it's not going to happen. So he already told you it's not going to happen, and yet you say, well, it has to be within a year. He's already told you it's not going to happen. Okay. He's not going to change his mind because he hasn't changed his mind yet, right? It's been a year and a half and he still hasn't changed his mind. So what you think adding another year to that is going to do except waste another year of your life because the man has already told you it's not going to happen. So he don't want you to live in his house, and I can't say that I blame him. Once you get somebody up in your house, it's hard to get them out. And he knows you don't have no money, so otherwise you would have your own spot. So he knows that he would be in a situation if he let you move up there and y'all having all these arguments and he had a hard time getting you out. That's why you're not going in there. And that's a smart decision on his part. So really, you want somebody that's going to want to live with you, you need to get you a different man. There's plenty of dudes that want to do that and live with somebody. It's not your dude, though. So, like I said, if that's meaningful to you, he's already told you what time it is. So if you put down that little ultimatum, don't waste another year. It's not going to happen. Just deuce out now and start doing something like getting a second job so you can make more money so you can get your own spot. Okay. Question number 18. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Madison, Alabama. Wow. Where's that? Summary of issue. My girlfriend spirals whenever she makes me sad, and I end up comforting her instead. Hey, auntie. So we've been dating for a few years, and this has honestly been kind of a problem. She's 27 and I'm 26. Our fights used to be worse and happen more frequently, but it always leaves me shaken. It just happened again, and I feel like I really need advice because I don't understand what's going on. Basically, anytime she does anything to make me upset or hurts my feelings, she has a complete meltdown, and it turns into me comforting her instead. Okay, this is long. You wrote too much. Okay. I really do believe that she's expressing emotions and that she's not manipulating me. However, I always come away from feeling like I just diffused a bomb and didn't get to work through why I was feeling hurt in the first place. I've talked to her about this after the fact, and she agrees she needs to work on it, yet it still happens, and I really hate it. Okay, so then he goes into the story where they were going to cuddle on the couch and do laundry, and then her friends called and said, let's go to a bar, and she said, okay. And so he was sad because he thought he was going to be spending the evening with her. And he says, she notices that I'm feeling down and quiet. I just say I'm sad she's going to be leaving, and I tell her to enjoy herself and have fun, but she will not let it go. She keeps saying, if you don't want me to go, then I won't. And I say, I'm not going to make that decision for you, but you seem like you really want to go. Still will not drop it. I kept telling her it's her decision. I really don't get why she kept asking me. Because you didn't say, 'cause I don't give a fuck where you go. If you would have told her like that, then she would have stopped asking you. But you was just being a milquetoast. Little whiny, spineless boy. You have to you got somebody like this, you shut that shit down. You put some bass in your voice and say, I don't give a fuck what you do or where you go. Get the fuck out. That's what you want to do. You want to rip and run the streets? Then go. Get out. After then she would have stopped, or she would have went into a crime thing, and then you could have got up and went and got in your car and drove off and left her. See, the problem with you, and I'm not going to read all the rest of this because you went into way too much detail about all this. The problem is where she's manipulating you by, okay, you're upset. You have an issue, right? She doesn't want to deal with your feelings. So she turns it around and flips it around to make it about her. So you end up comforting her, which means that you got tricked into not talking about the feelings and the problem that you need her to help rectify. That's the game. So what you're supposed to do when she gets ready, when she gets started with that stuff and starts flipping out, you say, look, stop fucking crying. Nobody want to see that shit. You do this shit every fucking time. It gets on my goddamn nerves. You're going to deal with the problems that we have that I bring up to in this relationship like an adult, or we don't need to be in this relationship anymore. You make a decision. But all this crying and shit you be doing, all this, that shit ends today. We're not doing that anymore. And I don't give a fuck how much you cry. It's not going to happen, chick. I really just don't give a fuck about your tears anymore. You're going to deal with shit like an adult, or you going to get the fuck out of my life. Now, those are your two choices. And so you talk to her like that, then all this stuff that you got, all this 9,000 words that you typed here, it wouldn't be an issue. But you're not handling her right. You are being manipulated, no matter how you, in your innocence, naivete, try to flip it around and make it seem like it's not. She's very manipulative. She knows how to play you like a violin, son. But I'm telling you, you better practice. You listen to this part of the video and you better practice what I said. And the next time she starts that trick, you better light her ass up. Man, this. But he won't do it. You can tell. When the letters, when the guys, he's that emotional kind. You should see all his words. He's like all these feelings he wrote in here. You need to make her have some feelings, but you need to let her know that you don't give a fuck about her feelings. See, that's the thing. You make her feelings more important than yours. And so you've been letting her get away with that for all this time. Question number 19 of 26. We got 26 questions today. Female in the 18 to 21 age group from Brookhaven, Georgia. Summary of issue. I am a 19-year-old woman, but I dislike being called girlfriend or even wife. Is this normal? And what should I do? Stay single. There's an answer, a quick and easy answer for every question that comes across this column. But let's see what you have to say. As someone who identifies as a woman and was born that way, for clarification, is disliking certain feminine terms normal? I think part of it is because I'm not used to it, and part of it is because I think I have preconceived notions attached to some feminine words, quote wife and quote girlfriend in particular. Without thinking, I already know I wouldn't want those words to be used when referring to me. Not really. When I think about it deeper, though, about why I wouldn't want them to be used for me and in what context I'd be comfortable with them, I'm unsure of how I feel. Oh, God, you really don't have shit to worry about, do you? You don't have no problems, no real problem. So you have to dig deep in the closet and dig up your ass to pull a problem out and try to magnify it into something serious. This is some bullshit. I'm just like, oh my God. I think I'd be fine being called girlfriend or wife if it didn't conjure up an image of a heteronormative relationship and specific image for a woman. Think stereotypical girl, feminine presenting, more submissive, kind and caring, etc. I think this might tie into how I'm trying to define what being a woman really means for me and to detangle myself from social and gender norms. Then, God damn it, then be a frog. What the fuck do you want from me? However, even if I manage to reach a point that I succeed in separating feminine terms, including girlfriend and wife, from negative notions or just notions that aren't bad but just doesn't fit me, I know the society won't really change because of me. Another point to add is that I'd really appreciate also being referred to as partner or darling or another term that isn't gendered. I'm a bit insecure about it because I'm afraid my potential partner won't respect that or assume things about my gender. I just like gender neutral articles as well. Is how I'm feeling normal? Is it all right? Is it all right? Is I also, okay, prefer gender neutral terms more than gendered terms? I'd also really appreciate any advice to detach myself from these preconceived notions and make peace with these gendered terms like girlfriend or wife, as I don't want them to stop me from a relationship. Thanks. They're going to stop you from a relationship. They're going to stop you from a relationship because you're stupid. You stupid, and let me tell you why you're stupid. Okay, girlfriend and wife is a term of honor. You don't what you want to be called, bear? I mean, what the fuck? It's an honor to be somebody's. Well, I mean, I'm not a fan of girlfriend either, but not because of the title, but because it to me it doesn't really mean anything. But you know, what a guy at time for a guy to say, well, you know, this is my girlfriend, and he's introducing you proudly to people, well, that means something to him. Definitely by the time they decide to, you know, you're gonna be husband and wife, it means something. It means something socially, it means something if you're, you know, a religious person, it definitely means something then. It means something to the IRS. I mean, it means something no matter what the fuck you have trying to flip it around to say it doesn't mean anything. It does, it means a lot. Insurance companies see it as a lot. The government sees it as a lot. Your kids will see it as a lot because they want the mommy, daddy have the same name, you know, this kind of stuff. So the fact that you want to go through all these, you know, it's like these young people, y'all just something wrong with you. All this gender shit, you're a girl. Okay, get the fuck over it. Get over it. You don't want to be a girl, then go get your stuff cut off like everybody else and then try to be a boy. I don't know what to tell you. But this shit right here, this is how you don't really have any problems. You don't have nothing else to do with your life. There's no creative interest in your life. You need to read a book or something. Do something with yourself that's intelligent instead of wasting time writing these long-winded advice letters about advice for some shit that a problem that doesn't even exist that you created in your head. So you don't want to be nobody's girlfriend or wife, then stay fucking single and date dogs or something. God damn it. Stupid. Next letter. Woo, these people are getting on my nerves tonight. I don't even know what to say. Your head hurts. I had to sit here and read that shit. Just crazy. And they always talking about, and you know, the letters I told Candace, any letters that come in where they not saying he or she, but they be they, delete it. I don't even want to see it. I don't want to see it. So if you a girl, your ass is a she. If you a dude, your ass is a he. And I better be in the letter that way, or I'm not reading it. It's gonna get deleted. And I don't care how much problem you in, it's not gonna be aired on this channel. It's not. Because here we have men and we have women. Okay, there's no combos, no transit, no transformers, none of that. You a man or you a woman, you a dude or you a chick. That's it. That's all. And I will answer your question, but you're gonna present it in a way that makes sense to me. And I'm not down with all this they, them, theys, and whatever else is they be talking about. Now, question number 20. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Kettering, Ohio. Summary of issue. I am 18 and just had eggplant for the first time, and I absolutely hated it. How do I tell the guy that I don't want to do it again, but it's not his fault? It is his fault. Well, let's see what you have to say. First of all, this is not religious in any way. I just never liked the idea of eggplant, and I'm more convinced that I hate it now. It just wasn't a good experience, and it wasn't his fault. Well, whose fault was it? He was the only one there. I went into the situation knowing it was a hookup for him and for me as well, but I really hated the whole thing, and I found it disgusting. Not his fault, but I think it would have been the same with anyone. The problem is I can't ignore him as we have classes together. We're in college, and I will see him 3 times a week. How can I make this as least awkward as possible without hurting his feelings or making him feel like it's his fault? He also doesn't know it was my first time, and I don't want him to know, as that will make it even more awkward. Why do you feel like it's going to be awkward? I mean, you did it one time. That's all. That's it. And that's all you have to tell them. It's like there will be no repeat performances, sir. That was it. That was a one-shot deal. OTO, one time only. So, and the thing that's making me feel sad for you is that, I mean, I'm not saying the first time has to be like a Disney movie or anything, but a hookup just with some rando is not the way to do it. It's, you only get one first time. Okay. Just it one time in your whole life will you have a first time for, love making. It should be with someone that you have an emotional connection with. It will be a different experience for you if you do. If you're all locked up and tense and you're really uncomfortable because it's a rando, then you're not going to get the best experience out of it. I wish you had written to me before you did this and I could have told you not to do that. That's not how you do it. It should be with someone that you really care about and someone who cares about you. I'm not saying you got to be mad love or anything, but some people wait till they're married. I mean, whatever. But it still should be with someone that cares, respects, and has affection and admiration and cares about you. It's going to be a different experience for you. And like I always say, just said a few minutes ago, time is, you can't get back. You spent that time. Your first time now is gone, and it was spent in a situation that was harmful to you emotionally and psychologically. That was not the move to make that you did. And I hope other young girls listening to this learn that lesson. Thank you, Miss Bry. But yeah, that's not the move to make. That's too bad that happened that way. But you're going to see the dude in class, and he's going to try to talk to you, and he's going to try to angle things around to go get together again, and you're going to say no thank you. That's all you have to say, no thank you. That was a one-time only thing. And then that's it. That's all you have to say. If he asks you again, thinking maybe you change your mind after a week or two, say, didn't we already have this conversation? And then you walk off. That's all you have to say. There's no long-winded explanation necessary. You just say it was a one-time shot, dude. Your one time is over. But I'm telling you, had it been with a man who had some experience and knew what he was doing, it would have been a much better experience for you. Much better. And you might have been like, ooh, that's kind of nice. I think I liked that. Versus what you have here. That's really unfortunate. All right, let's move on. Question number 21. This is a young lady she's not that young, 28 to 34 age group from London in the UK. Summary of issue: my super sweet and understanding husband has started to spout some misogynistic rhetoric, and it's scaring me. I'm 31 and my husband's 34, and we've been married for 13 years. Wow, y'all got married young. For our entire relationship, my husband has been the sweetest and most gentle person you could imagine. I work in the social justice equity field with a degree in gender studies. He's always been incredibly supportive and appreciative of my work. We've had long talks about women's rights and similar subjects. We've always usually fallen in close to what the other believes. But last week, he was telling me about an article he read and went off on a monologue about how the women's movement is causing men to become unstable and mentally unwell. Wow. How this constant talk about women becoming more autonomous and setting boundaries and all around making a name for themselves has caused men to not know where they stand. That men have just been programmed to just be providers and not show emotion. Well, at that point, I could partially empathize with it. But then he went on to say that all that women have caused men to lose their place in the world. How now men are becoming withdrawn and depressed because they don't belong anymore. I was literally shocked. He's never talked like that. I couldn't even respond. Since then, he has brought up how domestic violence against men is worse. He even tried to convince me to write my graduate thesis on that. Just now, we were joking around about women's pants, and now they don't have pockets. I mentioned that it partially originated from the idea that pockets kill the lines in a pair of pants. And he said, well, that's what women want. And this time, I actually got a bit angry. I told him not a single woman I know cares about that, and we would rather have pockets. He kept on reiterating until eventually I just shut up because I wasn't getting anywhere. So now I'm just sitting here with my wine, reevaluating my entire marriage. I am legitimately scared to bring my worry about his misogynistic views up to him. He hasn't been listening to my views at all lately. I want to reiterate that this is a completely out of the blue for him. This is a complete 180 from who he has been for over the last decade. I don't know if I'm just venting or wanting some advice, but am I overthinking this? I know I work within the field, but I'm a little sensitive to this, but I really need some input here. Well, y'all put your input. I'm about to give mine. It's time for a divorce. See what he was good at, but he's changed. And people, that often happens. People change. This man is on some kind of rant about talking about, how he can't stand women and it's women's fault that men are falling behind. No, it's your fault. It's your fault. I've done a video on this, several of them really, about how men have just sit down. They sit down and they want to play video games. They sit down and they don't want to go to school. And so, they're the ones who are achieving stuff are the ones who are being busy and, achieving and going after stuff. The others are sitting on their butt waiting for somebody to give them something, like they have a sense of entitlement. They feel like they deserve a woman. They deserve a job that pays high money. They deserve all of these things for no reason. I don't even know where they get this sense of entitlement from. But, your husband is sympathizing with that angry group of men. Those men are violent and they are angry and they hate women. They blame women for their poor positioning in life instead of blaming themselves. Because when you ask them, the few I've had contact with, well, what is it that you've done exactly to make yourself not be these things that you complain about? I mean, what have you done? Did you go back to school? Well, no. Well, did you take a trade course then and get your certifications in something so that you could have a nice blue collar job? They make plenty of money. Well, no. Well, I mean, what did you at least read some books about something to learn something and maybe you could apply it in the job that you have now? You get a promotion or something? No. Okay, so I'm confused. What is it exactly that you think women are keeping you from doing? Why is it that you try to put the blame on women for the stuff that I just asked you what you're going to do and you didn't want to do anything? But somehow that's women's fault that you don't want to do that? Women are doing it. Why can't you? And then they just look at you because they don't have an answer for that. They would prefer to blame shift and then rant and rave and big up each other in their anger and make it women's fault that they're just pieces of shit. That's the bottom line. So no woman wants a piece of shit. I mean, some of these women seem to want a piece of shit, but that's why they're writing an advice column because they're confused. But a normal woman with good sense, she don't want a man who's a piece of shit. She wants a man that she can be proud of, who's on his grind, who's about something that she can brag about, show her off to her family and stuff. And then her parents say, yeah, my sons, my son-in-law, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. That's the kind of what man that we want. We don't want somebody who's out of shape and funny looking and mouth breather who only plays video games all the time. We don't want that. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but, you're going to keep an eye on your husband. But, you think that's why people get divorces. People always say, well, you always tell people to leave. I'm like, we could see where this is going. She's not ready to go yet. She's going to wait until he starts verbally abusing her. Right now, it's like third party conversation. The next step is he's going to start attacking her. And then that's when she'll finally wake up and that's when she'll leave. But the handwriting is on the wall. He's already on that path. Question number 22. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Greeley, Colorado. Summary of issue. I need advice on reaching out to a longtime crush. So this is girls I have a crush on since we started talking right before going to college together in 2017. We are both 23 now. The moment she and I met, my brain melted on the spot and my heart wanted to explode. Oh my God, you have it bad. She is extremely beautiful. And we share a passion for physics, philosophy, and math. She has been a persistent crush throughout the last 6 years. I'm fairly confident she liked me at the beginning too, but we fell out of contact once we moved into our separate dorms and school life took over. I haven't really talked to her at all in the last 5 years. Losing contact with her is the biggest regret of my college life, hands down. We are now both in grad school, and I really would love to reconnect with her. I decided I really need to do something about this crush, so at the very least, she stops living rent-free in my head. Problem is, we now live in different cities, a few-hour bus ride away from each other. So I want to ask her if she'd be interested in a date where I take the bus ride there and back. If it goes well, we want to do it again despite the distance. That would be amazing. If it doesn't, well, that's still great. If she rejects the date idea and blocks me, well, I guess that's okay too. I just know that I have to do this before I can move on. So my question to you is, how should I approach reaching out to her? A few aspects of this I'm interested in hearing about. Should I shoot for a friendship first and then later a date? Okay, you just wrote way too much. Oh. What kind of attitude, level of directness, and phrasing is best? Should I tell her I like her right off the bat? For example, hi, I saw your last post and wanted to reconnect with you. Versus, hi, I liked you for the last 6 years and would like to see you on a date. Are you down? Things like that. I have her phone number. We used to talk in the early days, but no contact since then, and her Instagram. Does it matter which means I talk to her from? Above all, I don't want to make her uncomfortable or feel pressured to do something she's not interested in. What do I say to make her comfortable? How much am I overthinking this? Oh my God, you're making my headphone explode. Any advice would be appreciated. I really want to hear what y'all think. Thanks, ladies. Okay, dude. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Okay. You had a girl's Instagram. You hit her up and say, hi, I was thinking about you. What you up to? And then if she's interested, she will respond back and say, I heard that you moved to such and such a city. I've never been there. I'm thinking about coming down. Would you be able to play tour guide and show me around? And then she'll say, sure. And then when you get there, you're going to be cute. You're going to be smelling good. And then you're going to say, let's go out. I'm going to take you out to dinner. Where's a good place to go? So it's like a kind of a backdoor slide in there. But you know, the first thing is you're going to have to reach out to her on social media, because I'm concerned that the phone number that you had from 5 years ago is probably not good anymore. I mean, you could try it, I guess, but don't be surprised if it rings on somebody else's name. But I would try the Instagram way. It's less pressure for her. Did you ever talk to her for years and years? And, if you're interested, then you guys can exchange phone numbers. Tell her you lost your phone or something. I mean, you don't want to tell her you still have her number. You're going to make it say, like, I lost my phone. My phone was stolen, so I don't have your number anymore. Just lie. It's not like she's going to find out anyway. Child, I just don't understand. These young boys just making this way too hard. Just way too hard. Dude, just slide into her DMs like everybody else. Question number 23, female, 35 to 42 from Miami. Summary of issue. Why does she keep inviting her friends to our dates? Oh. So I met this girl a little bit ago. She's sweet and nice and a lot of fun. We've gone out 3 times already, but then we stopped and now we are talking about hanging out again. After our first time of hanging out, she started to make our outings with more people. Last time it was with her work colleagues. Then she wanted to go on this double date thing that got canceled. Last weekend we planned to hang out, but she changed it at the last minute and asked if we could go somewhere with her sister and brother. She said we can all bail. She said we can bail after. I said no problem, but that needed to get up. But that needed up getting. I must have seen that ended up being canceled and rescheduled for tomorrow. She said she felt bad about canceling, so she wants to take me out. I said sure. Now she's telling me about it being a group event. I asked if I minded. I think he means she asked if I minded. I said no, but I'm confused why she keeps doing this. If she wasn't interested, I don't know why she reached out to me. We stopped talking for a while and she reached out to me. I was honest and told her my intentions, and if she has a boyfriend, then this isn't a good idea. She said she didn't, so we plan to hang out again. But I know she's doing this again. Our first 2 dates alone weren't great. We had a great time. I thought she did anyway. We basically were together till way after the sun rose. Why does she want to make our activities group events? The better question is, when she asks that, why do you say yes when you want to say no? Let's start there. When you say, all you have to do is say, look, I mean, we did this a couple of times. I don't want to do this anymore. If I'm going to go on a date for me is with 2 people. I'm past the teeny bopper group date thing. Do you want to go on a date with just the 2 of us or not? I mean, why can't you just do that? Why is it that I have more bigger nuts than these men to be writing in? Dude, you don't have to do this. You don't have to go on a group date. I mean, we used to do that when we was like 13 or 14. Nobody was going on no date. I mean, it was like a gang of kids all going hanging out. The other thing is when you use this term hang out. If you're a grown-ass man, you don't hang out with a woman. You go on a date. And you let her know that that's what you're doing. And you don't call it hanging out. Those euphemisms like that will confuse people. Because, you hang out with platonic friends. You hang out with your relatives. You hang out with your dog. If you have a man who's interested in you romantic, your ass is not hanging out. You're on a date. Make it clear and make it the intention of the event. I mean, express what the true intention is. All this hanging out shit like you 5. Get out of here. So that's probably why she's bringing all these people, because she don't know it's a date, and you said hanging out, so it's just hanging out. That's casual. But you better tell her it's gonna continue like this. Better tell her that you're tired of that and you just want to date with the 2 people, and it's a date. It's not a group date. And do you want to do that with me or not? If not, then we can stop. But we don't have to do this anymore, because I'm not trying to be on dates with all your friends and family. Question number 24 of 26. We have 2 more after this. Female, 22 to 27, from Memphis, Tennessee. The male in question is 42 to 49. Summary of issue. What would you do with this wedding ring set that was for another woman? All right, here we are, me, 27, and my future husband, who's 44. Oh, my God. Y'all like these old-ass men. We're clearing out a room in our house, getting ready to make it into a nursery. You gonna have somebody who's on the downstroke to 50 be a daddy of your baby? Girl, you tripping. I came across a box with a bunch of old mementos from a woman he was going to marry about 10 years ago. She got hit by a drunk driver and passed away due to the injuries a few months before they were set to be married. Pictures, little things, no big deal. I understand that everyone has history. But there was a wedding ring set in his box. He told me he had planned to put them on her during the funeral, but they could not have an open casket due to the condition of the body. He told me I can have them and do what I want to do with them. They are nice rings, so would you use the jewelry that was for another woman that passed away? All feels a little weird to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this. No, honey, but what I would do is take that to the nearest jeweler and trade it for like a bracelet or something for me, something I picked. Now, I wouldn't want those rings, because them rings have bad juju. Anybody who's gonna get them rings, like be like eating dust and stuff, and I don't want anything to do with that. But I will trade them in for something that's brand new that I picked. I will do that in a heartbeat and be back right there. They're like, look what I got. Look at my diamond bracelet. Look at these rubies I got. My earrings. I would be doing something like that, but those rings would never touch my body. Nope. But yeah, I sure would. I would sell them bad boys in a heartbeat. Take that money and be like, yay. I would do that. So that's the answer. Question number 25. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Burlington, North Carolina. Summary of issue. I messaged my ex-boyfriend on his wedding day. Do you think he's going to think I'm crazy? Absolutely. My ex is a narcissist, or at least he has narcissistic traits. He has mentally and emotionally abused me and made me feel worthless. We split a year and a half ago, and he didn't explain why he treated me so bad, but he blamed me and then stopped replying to me. I got upset last Saturday after finding out that he was getting married. I messaged him on Messenger. He has never blocked me, just ignored all my messages, but read them all. I said, how can he just move on and never give me any explanation to why he did all those things he did? It was a long message. He obviously read it and ignored it, then changed the picture to him and her after getting married. He's going to think I'm a total head case now, isn't he? But I'm not. Yes, you are. It was a year and a half ago that you've been away from him, and you wait a year and a half to send him some long multi-paragraph wall of text about why he did some crazy shit that he did on purpose. You already know the answer to them questions. Why did he do it? Because you stayed there and let him do it to you. Because people only get to mistreat you one time. If you stick around, that means either you like it or you have some magical thinking this, you're going to wiggle your nose like Bewitched, and it's going to be different. I don't know what it is, because you get one time with me, people be like, well, Deborah, he could have just apologized and y'all could have went on. And I said, yeah, that probably could have happened, but I will never feel the same about him again. Because any man who could fix his lips to talk to me like that or to treat me that kind of way, I'm done with him. There's no excuse. I'm not giving you no pass. I no amount of apologies in this world, because if you really cared about me, the words would have never came out your mouth and you wouldn't have treated me that way. So that's all I need to do. I believe what I see and believe what I hear. And I'm not going to put no spin on it to make it seem like you didn't mean it and, it was you was drunk, or, what are the excuses that people like to use? No, you did it because you wanted to. You did it because that was the thing that you felt like doing in that moment. And it doesn't work for me. So, boop, I'm out. Yeah, he's not going to think that you're, in her case, he's just going to think that you're desperate, stupid, lonely, can't let shit go, a hanger on, a Klingon, just trying to mess with him, all kind of stuff. Go in your phone and delete his number. Delete all his contact information and leave that man alone. You have closure. There's a video on this channel about closure. You have closure the second you say the word. Nobody gives you closure. When you go to somebody else like this that's already hurt you and you looking for them to, quote, give you closure, you're an idiot. They have no reason to give you anything except to hurt your feelings some more. And I mean, if it was me, that's what I would do. You call me or send me a text, oh boy, this is an open season on you. Let me crack my knuckles and go in. And that's exactly what you would have got. Your feelings would have been so hurt if it was me. I would have sent you back some walls of text talking about how stupid you were, how retarded, how nobody wanted to be bothered with you. You was bony. You didn't have no booty. I mean, you couldn't screw. I mean, you can't cook. You look stupid. Your nose is big. I would have said everything. I said all kind of stuff. Made shit up just to hurt your feelings because you put yourself in a position for me to do that by reaching out to ask me a stupid question. And you would have got like hella stupid answers in return. I don't... Like, where they do that at? And here's our final question. Oh my God, this is long as hell. What is up with these long ass questions this week? My form must have broke. Question number 26. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Leeds in the UK. Summary of issue: I'm considering leaving my amazing new partner for my ex. Hello, Deb and squad. This is a what would Deb do question. So my ex and I split about 1.5 years ago after just over a year together. We had a great relationship, but a job opportunity came up for him, which meant moving overseas. This was something he had been working towards before we met, and I couldn't go with him as I didn't want to leave my job, my family, or my dogs. We mutually decided to split as we knew we wouldn't be able to keep the relationship going long distance, especially when I had no desire to move countries and he did not want to stay or come back to the UK. The breakup was hard and I was devastated. Flash forward to now. I've been seeing an amazing guy for the last 4 months. He does so much for me and really cares about me. I really care about him too and could see a future with this man. I thought I was over my ex, but he reached out to me over Christmas to say he is transferring his job and moving back to the UK. Life out there just wasn't the dream he thought it would be. He has told me how much he loves me still and misses me and wants to be with me and have a future with me. He says he didn't say this any sooner because it would do more harm than good, knowing we couldn't be together, and he just wanted to leave me be so I could move on and be happy. I really don't know what to do now. I don't want to break the new guy's heart as he is perfect. This would come completely out of the blue too, as everything is great. We haven't even had one argument or even a tiny disagreement. He even booked a surprise night away for us for next weekend, which has cost him a fortune. Deb, actually, I would feel so guilty ending things with him. I told my ex I need some time as I don't want to see him or speak to him until I've made up my mind. If this were you, would you go back or move forward with your new partner? Girl, this wouldn't even be a question. Dude would, well, first of all, he wouldn't have been able to call me because I would have blocked him, which you didn't do. And then secondly, when he called talking about, well, I want to come back, say, no, that ship has sailed, son. That ship has sailed. I'm with someone new. I really like this guy. He is fabulous. And I'm not giving him up for you. So, you've chased your dream. Your dream did not include me. And so there you go. That's it. That's all. It's over. Don't call me no more. That's what I would do. I don't go back. I don't go back. I feel like, whatever is the issue that made us break up, you saying it's distance and stuff, but I'm thinking like all the time y'all spent together, you was together, what'd you say, like 1.5 years, right? Hold on a second. Let me make sure. Oh, you were together for over 1 year and you split up 1.5 years ago. So we're talking almost 3 years of, of time wasted in your life. You want to get back with him and waste some more? And the age group that y'all are in, why didn't you get married? If he wanted you to come with him to another country and stuff, why did you not get married? 28 to 34 is not young. Y'all could have got married and you all could have traveled together. But that wasn't even presented as an option. So I'm looking at all of this and I'm wondering what in the world it is that you think you're going to be chasing except for the past and some dreams. The new dude, most likely when you go on this trip, he sounds like the type that would propose. So my husband did. It was 3 months. He proposed. I said no, but he still proposed. And he was, like what you talk about here. There's nothing wrong with him. I just wasn't ready. I got scared. That's what really happened. I was scared. I was like, what? Married? Oh my God. Who wants to do that? To you? I was immature. What can I say? But I think I think if you went back, you would be making a mistake. You moved on and you should stay where you are and move forward in life. You start making U-turns going backwards. You're retracing your steps and you're basically chasing a vision of the past. You're chasing the past. That man that he was before he left a year and a half ago, you don't even know him anymore. You'll be basing your decision on who he was when he left, but he's not that man anymore and you're not that woman anymore. And it's time to just let that go and move on. Accept the fact that you got to have changed and grown, matured, and developed in other ways, and you're not the same people anymore. You're better suited with the guy that you're with, and you need to accept that. So let's see what we got coming up, because that's it for this show. I don't know what we're going to do next. I get these spurred moment. I get these ideas at the last minute. And then just decide to sit down here and we conjure up a show. So with that said, if you're not already a subscriber to this channel, please hit that subscription button and the instant notification bell. Feel free to share any of the more than 1,500 videos that are on the channel. Just go to the top of the channel and put in a search that says search this channel. Type in whatever keyword you were interested in, like, I don't know, cheating, how to pick a girlfriend, narcissism, low self-esteem. I mean, whatever your topic of interest in, and all the videos with that subject matter will pop up, and you can just start looking at them and take notes and learning about how to make your life a little bit better, okay? But other than that, the show is now over, and we'll be back by next Tuesday at the latest, and if not before, because you know me, I'll just... If you want to submit a question, be sure to log on at Debsterism.com. Click on the advice tab and then fill out the form and send in your questions for Candace to take a look at it and see if she's going to put it in the column or not. You guys go away tonight and have a wonderful evening and a good weekend. Bye-bye.